Just this tiny little scene changed my perspective about investing and spending money. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Pick Up Books. I'm Komal, and in today's video I'll be talking about the books I read in the month May. Reading wise, May was not that great of a month, but I started reading a series which was in my TBR for literally so long, and that is an achievement in itself. Also, I got on track listening to audiobooks which I left a year ago. I could see that the number of books I read slowly declined, and hence I started listening to audiobooks again. The first book that I read in the month of May is this, A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This is the first book in the series, A Song of Ice and Fire. I could literally finish around 3 to 4 books reading this one whole book, but never mind. This is such a great start to the whole Game of Thrones journey. People have asked me if the series and the books are similar or they're different. Obviously it will be different because this is book and that is series. They have their own features, their own touch points to be talked about. But the series has done an incredible job in portraying what George R.R. Martin has created over here. It is not a very easy book. It has complex storyline, complex world building and complex characters, and it is not an easy job to make it into a series. The series might have ruined the last season for us, but we must give them the credit for all the other seasons and for portraying this whole mania into a series which everyone could watch. So basically what happens in this first book is what happens in season 1. I'll try to keep this as spoiler free as possible. So if you watch the series, you know what is that one event that will occur in season 1 that none of us ever expected to occur. So while I was reading that, I was just waiting for that event to occur, and that only happens in the last few pages. So that is one thing, that the series has paid a lot more attention to just one particular event that occurs and have neglected these small yet very impactful scenes that happens in the book that is written very vividly. This is one such scene between Jon and Tyrion Lannister, and I really love this scene because both of them, they have their own insecurities, and through this book you will get to know the characters' history, their insecurities, their strengths, their weakness, and it's just amazing because you won't see that much in the series, but you will see that through this book. So there is this one quote when I think Tyrion Lannister says to Jon Snow, "Never forget what you are, for surely the world will not. Make it your strength, then it can never be your weakness. Armor yourself in it, and it will never be used to hurt you." So this is one of the most favorite quote from this book. You will see narration mainly from the point of view of House Stark family members. You will see narration from Eddard, Catelyn Stark, Jon Snow. I don't think Robb Stark, I don't think he has a narration in this book, but Sansa, Arya, Bran, and in Lannisters you will see from Tyrion Lannister's point of view, and I think Cersei's also, but not much, and also Daenerys Targaryen. So you'll see the point of view from all these characters. What is missing is obviously Robert Baratheon. He is the king, and I feel his narration was also as important as the other characters. What I really like about this book is that it explores a lot of things. There is obviously a lot of history, and everything can't be explored in one show or this one book. So that's why you have these 7 books of this mammoth size. But whatever history has been explored in this book, I think is enough to get on with the other books. You will get to know what is that Iron Throne, why it is important, who is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, and who had them for previous generations. So that is really important to get started with, and the right information, the right setup is provided in this book to actually understand what happens in the other books. Obviously, there is a lot I want to talk about this book and the series, because the series was one of my favorite series at some point in my life. So I want to explore more of that, and I'll try to make a different video with a reading vlog where I talk about Game of Thrones, my favorite house, my favorite character, all the differences between series and the books, what I feel about each character, which are important. Not every character, I can't explore every character because there are so many characters, and I'll try to do that after reading the second book. I'm done with around 400 pages, I guess, so I'll try to finish that book, and I'll talk about this book and the second book in the reading vlog of Game of Thrones, so please keep an eye for that video as well. The next book I read was The Richest Man in Babylon. This book was actually recommended a lot in Rich Dad Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki, but I liked Rich Dad Poor Dad book more than this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. This book is about a fictional entry of a person named Arkad, how he became richest man in Babylon. He shares his laws, his principle on investing money, managing money, and so on. What I feel is these laws and principles are a little outdated because this book was written in 1926. But there was this one scene which gives major finance lessons that you will ever receive in your life. So the scene is that there are two persons, person A and person B. So person A is someone who wants to become rich, who wants to start saving and investing money, but he has no clue where he has to start from. And person B is someone who is already rich and who has acquired his wealth. Upon some advice, person B tells to person A that in every month earnings, what you have to do is you have to save 1/10 of your monthly earnings and adjust your expenses in the remaining parts. So at the end of the year, you will have a month's earning plus certain amount. So what this person A does is that he will save 1/10 of his monthly earnings, and with the remaining parts he tries to adjust his for his expenses. Then after a year, what this person A does is that with the saved money he spends it on something that's totally unnecessary. And for the next year, person B, he advises person A that whatever you have saved, you have to invest it into something to get certain returns. What this person A does is that he does the same step. He will save 1/10 of his monthly earnings, and at the end of the year he invests into something that is a fraud scheme. So he loses his entire savings into that scheme which was unreliable. For the next year, person B tells that whatever you're investing into, you have to make a very in-depth research about it, because you are giving your money to that person, so you have to trust what you are investing into, and you have to know the market into where you are investing in. So what this person A does is that now he invests into something that's very reliable and he gets certain returns. But what he does is that with that returns, he spends it on something that's unnecessary. Then what is the point of investing, right? Then what person B tells is that whatever you are investing in, you will get certain returns. Now you have to make the children of your investment earn for you. So this is the major learning, that you have to make the children, the grandchildren, the great grandchildren of your investment earn for you. Only then you will become the richest man in Babylon. Now person A is aware of all the mistakes he has committed, and therefore these are the mistakes that you need to avoid and follow these principles and laws that were advised by person B. Just this tiny little scene changed my perspective about investing and spending money. The last book I read in the month of May is Deep Work by Cal Newport. I'm really glad that I picked this book up right when I was addicted to social media, and through certain methods I was able to digitally detox, and right now I am at peace. With certain studies and examples, Cal Newport talks about what deep work is. So deep work is the ability to focus on a cognitively demanding task without any distraction. And then he reasons out why deep work is important and how you can achieve the state of deep work in your day-to-day life. I will make a separate video on deep work and talk about the rituals and methods that were mentioned in the book to achieve the state of deep work. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below which was your favorite read from the month of May. I'll meet you in my next video. Until then, take care, bye bye, and keep reading. Happy reading.